What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are back today with Stage 10 of the Millennium Falcon build from Fanhome. And I gotta say that this one is a weird one. So, we have the Stage 10 package here. You know what we're gonna do with it today? Nothing. At all. There's nothing in here that we're gonna use. This is the first time in either one of my Fanhome builds where I've come across a stage where I'm actually not going to open it. For this stage, we're going to be using the existing pieces that we've gathered as we've gone along, and I like that idea, but it is very interesting to me that this isn't part of the build today. So I'm actually just going to, for the sake of keeping everything nice, and you guys know me and my frame pieces, I'm not going to touch this thing until it's time. There is a very, very thin piece, and I only am going to say what it is for the sake of saying the crazy words. Radial stiffening rib. That is just awful. D'Agostini, just Anyway, so I'm not going to touch anything. These are individually wrapped in packages, which is nice, but I'm not going to touch this. So we're going to set this off to the side and forget about it. Probably going to dip into it next week. There is one piece here, and you can kind of see it tucked below. This is bottom frame plate 9. This gray piece here is part of the hold wall, and it's the 4 hold wall. So we'll likely be getting into it next week. But for right now, we're just going to be setting this package off to the side for this week. So for this week, however, let's go ahead and bring into main focus here. We're going to be building, well, the hold door. So as you can kind of see from the title of this episode, I have a morbid curiosity with coming up with clever names for these videos. And yeah, so we're going to be doing the hold door today. Pretty iconic. It's going to be putting these little pad pieces onto the inner ring here, and we're going to be gluing them into there. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was like, as I was reading through the magazine, as you can see here on the back, they have little channels here where we're going to be gluing, and then they'll lock into place here. A lot of movies from this era, late 60s through the early 80s, started with 2001, and there's some logic and science behind it, but a lot of the movies in this era have padding on the walls and the inside of the ships. Alien has it, Star Wars has it, a couple other movies as well. And they definitely kept this design aesthetic here. And I actually think it's one of the more signature and iconic pieces of the Millennium Falcon is the padded walls, and specifically the entranceway going through here. I believe this takes you towards the crew compartments, areas where we never actually got to see. And then we're going to be taking this piece, going to be applying a little bit of paint and gluing it here. And then we're going to be leaving the rest of the tubes off on that one off to the side. And then we're just going to be taking this piece off, cleaning it up, and attaching it here. You could add some paint. I'm not sure what the color scheme for this is supposed to be, so I will actually watch the movie. Oh, feel sorry for me. I'll watch the movie and see if I can pick out specifically like New Hope, or maybe even, this is a replica of The Empire Strikes Back, so I'll either look in Empire Strikes Back or in Return of the Jedi, or even in the sequel trilogy films to see if I can catch this piece and if there's any coloring that I can find. Otherwise, these are going to be tubes that are going to be going on to here as well, but that's going to be, I believe, for stage 11. So just going to be taking this one piece and this one piece off the sprues, and then we're going to be taking each one of these off the sprues. I'm going to be doing this off camera real quick, but before we do that, however, we are going to be taking off the couple of panels. And before we do that, I'm going to be applying a little paint. We will be right back. Okay, we're back, and we have a little bit of Tester's silver paint. It's going to be the same paint I'm going to be using throughout all of the panels on the inside of the Falcon here. I have a much finer, nicer tipped brush this time around. I did clean up the technical console. that we saw me very poorly paint a couple of episodes ago. I resprayed it the proper color for the background, and then I used this very, very finely tipped brush, and I used it to sorry, as I'm brushing off all of the excess paint, used it to go ahead and reline, and it wound up working out much better. So let's see how this turns out. That's fine. Turning out pretty good. A little bit of paint's getting inside, and that's totally fine. Paint the top of this. Paint this tube thing here. Yeah, this brush is really nice. I've been doing a lot of work with it. Got a couple of like very fine hairs. Horrible thing to say, but it has a couple of very fine hairs at the top, and I'm able to do some very precise work, like right here. Much more pleased with that, absolutely. Okay. There we go, across this way. Oop. That's fine. Just the briefest, slightest little touch. And we will see the technical console in the next episode. So currently it is displayed, actually. The crew area just kind of sitting directly underneath where the Venator is, along with the cockpit. Yeah, I gotta say, that turned out much better. Just a little bit of messiness, but I'm fine with that. Then, this brush is really nice. This paint is also very nice. I was very, like, I've used a bunch of the testers now. This one by far is, there's something about it, it just really doesn't take much, and it goes a long way. Yeah, that turned out really well. Very pleased. And for the final little bit here, the helping hands are great, but kind of holding it with my finger here, in between my fingers, and I'm using it to steady it and paint it. It's kind of working. I've been building a just on the side, like I've been trying to do as much work as I can. Like I'm really enjoying this. Like model building is something I did, like I said, as a kid, and you know, I've just been enjoying doing it, and so I've purchased 67 Shelby GT500 that I am currently painting and making look like Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. The Nick Cage Gone in 60 Seconds. So, yeah. I've used this quite a bit on there, and it's, yeah, just amazing. I don't know if what's going with that, but, alright. So the little bit of painting that we have to have done this episode is done. That did turn out really, really well. Once again, a good brush. This is Red Sable. It's a really good brush. So yeah, painting is done. Now, before we get moving on, I'm going to go ahead and clear everything off my sprues, get them cleaned up, and we will be right back. All right, we are back, and after about 10 minutes of very fine precision sanding, all of our pieces are cleaned up and ready to go. So we got everything here. Let's go ahead and move our painting pad off camera. Painting pad, a piece of cardboard. So now, actually, you know, I might just bring it back for a place to do some glue work. So what I'm gonna do, let's kind of show you how I do things here. Got a little piece of cardboard, got my glue. I'm just gonna put together a nice little pile of this gel. I get way too much out as usual with super glue because it doesn't know how to not. Barely touch the end, but hey, here we are. Okay, so now we got the end of a pick. Got that there. And we have this here. And we're going to go ahead and get all of our pieces up here. A lot of them, actually. I was kind of surprised. I don't know if they gave us any extra, but... Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to start at the top. Just going to get a little bit of glue on the end of my stick. And just going to go, I'm going to do 2 at a time. A little here, a little there, a little there, a little there, a little there, a little there. Then, get our piece, turn it over, quote unquote. Now, I don't know. Let's see if it'll click into place. There it is, yeah. Work quickly here. Put the next piece on. I don't know. Don't stick to my fingers. You know how much I love super glue. Okay. Just a quick little dab there, dab there. I try doing 3 at a time like I did with the seat cushions. So you can pull off this work quickly. Quickly just set these in place. Ugh, God, I hate super glue. I've been working with cement. I also hate that stuff too. It smells. Something fierce, let me tell you. I may actually stick with super glue for model making, which is totally fine. Doesn't do nice things to paint, but you can always fix it. And yep. I did that on purpose for some weird impulsive thoughts. A little less glue I'm seeing here. I'm thinking about just sticking it along the back, not along in the little channels. Tweezers. Kind of tweezers definitely got some glue on them. Man, I hate this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hate this stuff. My fingers stuck to that. But it's what's necessary for model making, so. They're calling for it in this model, and I'm curious if it's just their choice or if it's better for this model. Because I've seen that there is some differences between plastics and the models I've been building lately. Got a few different, oh my goodness, yeah, that one just stuck to my finger. Got a few different models I'm building right now at the same time. So, yeah. Just plastics in general are interesting, actually. Okay. Final one there. Before we move on to the other side. Well, that one shot off the edge of my desk. I know where it went, but that one definitely shot off the end of my desk. I will find it. There we go. Oh my goodness. These things. And the super glue. It's brutal. Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna go find that piece. I'll be right back. Well, it's gonna take some time to find that one apparently, so we will move on. Hopefully they gave us an extra one. Okay. Yeah, no, I couldn't. I know I saw where it went, but it's not. Behind my desk is not a very friendly place. It's not true. My cable management is on point, but it's not very accessible because my cable management is on point. Just doing this with fingers because I'm worried about that happening again. Yeah, so I've made it so it's very close and tight back there. My work area is not very big. I've tried to do everything I can to maximize it, but yeah, it's going a little bit better. Yeah, it's kind of tight back there. I'm gonna have to pull everything out. Like I'll find it, but just a matter of where it went. Hopefully they give us just an extra one and I don't need to worry about it. I know with the Enterprise they would have. Yeah, going a little faster than with tweezers. Generally, tweezers can be a good aid, or they could not. Let's try 3 at a time here. Nope, they didn't give us enough. Definitely have to go find that. That's fine. Like I said, it's not long. It's not like all you gotta do is just pull some things out and we'll be good. But yeah, it's just a matter of pulling some things out. But that makes an interesting proposition. How am I to finish this stage? It's actually pretty simple. Just not glue the very bottom piece down here. Yep, that's totally fine. And then one last little piece. And then, one last little piece. I say is, pieces are stuck to my finger here. What I will do is I will grab a flashlight and go move some things out of the way real quick. Go find what's. Oh, my fingers got so much glue on them. There we go. Put this last one on here so the glue dries. I'm gonna go grab my flashlight and see if I can find it in a more readily able spot to be seen, and I will be right back. Well, thank goodness for a flashlight because that was easy to find. I thought it was in a way worse spot than it was, so let's go ahead and get this last piece on here. It's interesting, when I was down there looking around for a second though, evidence of all of the models I've built for a while. I need to do a little bit of cleaning apparently. Alright, so now, like all the Chads from the Venator and the Flying Dutchman, like the ones that didn't get hot by the vacuum. Okay. And that one's finally in place. So, there we have glue on my fingers and pads on the inside. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the glue and we're going to run. Gosh, hopefully this works. Gotta be quick. A bead of glue. inside here. And quickly, no, don't do that. Almost time to replace this pad. I can't get it clean anymore. Quickly into place. And then they say in the instructions, hold out and push in, just like so. This stuff sets pretty quick, a little slower than regular super glue, which is why I like it. Gives me a second, but not much time. Okay. Now, I need a little bit more here around the edges, so let's start around here. Down on the bottom. Get it cinched in its proper spot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over on the other side, do the same thing over here, just cinch it down. Then I'm going to run a bead of super glue along here. There we go. Try not to get too much over this. Yeah, it's a little bit of a, I get it, but I would have much rather, goodness me. And the instructions say like, dude. Okay, let's try this. What's worse is it's like sticking to everything but itself. This is so... Okay, let's go with some more glue. Now at this point, my fingers are completely dry and caked with glue. So we're just going to start at the top. We'll get a decent amount on here. Then set it straight in, get it into its proper spot. Push down. We'll be right back. Okay, that worked much better for getting the top piece like cinched down. And so now I'm just going to kind of take a little bit of a bead of glue, force it in there. Do the same thing here. Hold it down. And I've learned my lesson on how to handle this going forward here. This was a little messy. Thankfully though, we didn't see too much, there wasn't any paint damage or anything like that. So one thing you got to watch out for with glues and stuff like that is they will take off paint for sure. And we will do the same thing over here. Hold that down. Okay, so now we actually have our piece all put together properly. So now we're going to take, I want to be done with this piece real fast, and so we're going to grab a little bit more of our glue, and my fingers are just dry and stuck together, and this is awful. Get a decent amount of our glue here, plus whatever comes out. I hate super glue. I know I keep saying it, but man, I hate super glue. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to get a little bead right inside here. Trying to get on the back and on the front. I'm going to try to be quick and get the whole thing. Quickly put that into place. Oh, yeah, come on. There we go. Oh, that satisfyingly went into place. That looks really good. So I was kind of curious to see like why they had us put it together in several little pieces like that, but that actually really does look good. And I think that's glued down enough. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I'm worrying about getting too much of a mess around the outside here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put our two panels into place. Put some glue on the back here. Just a little bit in the middle. A little bit in the middle here. This first panel. Both sides as it goes side to side like that. Let's look at our directions before we plow forward, shall we? It does go side to side. It's right into place like that. And then finally for today, we're going to take the piece that we just painted. Hopefully it's dry. My fingers are messed up here. I can't grab anything properly anymore. Now we're going to go ahead and drop that into place. And I'm going to use the back end of this. Push it down. Not break and get anything in there. Yeah, so there we are. Nice and put down. Get a little bit of glue right in here. Just make sure it stays in place. There we are. So there we are, my friends. Stage 10 that didn't involve any of the package parts from stage 10. Very curious, very strange. Yeah, so overall, I'm pretty pleased though. This turned out really, really well. I am going to take a little bit of paint thinner, and hopefully I'm going to test it on the back side here before I do, so see if it's not going to take off any paint. If this is just molded in this color, we should be good. But I do want to clean up some of the super glue that I currently have all over my fingers and everything like that. But then what we're going to be doing next week is we're going to be taking all of the pipes and then finishing up all of this piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and get it put into place along with a couple other pieces. And we should be pretty close to having the internal hold all complete and done, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what we got for this week. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching today. I know there's a million things in the world you could be doing, and you chose to watch this for a little bit, and so I appreciate your time. And until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world, wherever you happen to might be. And may the Force always be with you.